Okay, welcome back. My Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV on the PC. Um, yeah, so last time we finished up the crisis in Yulemore, which, I don't know. Really, was it that important to us? I don't know. Maybe. Then we met with Tataru and Kryl. We learned that there's still a lot of trouble going on in Garlemald, which may or may not be the next expansion location. I wouldn't be shocked if it was, although I'd really prefer if it was like half of it. Sort of like Stormblood did Gurabanya and Doma, and it's split between it. Because I don't know if Garlemald itself will be going from Shadowbringers, and it's just like, fantastical insanity back to something so grounded and, real world as Garlemald. That'll be a little rough. So maybe hopefully there'll be something sort of extravagant alongside it. But, it could not be Garlemald. Who knows? Who knows? I'd leave it in their hands. Anyways, but now we're back here trying to continue to solve this problem of getting our friends' bodies back together with their souls. And apparently Lena, the guard in Lakewood, I think, wants to talk to us. Captain Lena. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? Shall we? Let's just step outside. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the knight had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater, a simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Let's be about it then. Excellent. Then let us make for Fort Job. Alright, I'll beat you there. No, I won't. You never will. You never will. They're so fast. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I, too, was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, and so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. A pleasure to meet you, sir, truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yulemoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. We don't need a flashback, man. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know. And so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Nod. There you go. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Yep.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light? Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Get on your knees. Bow to me.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. but to most they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Something is going on with that Ardbert.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
He's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Did she say that he tried to open a letter with a piece of fish? Is Lena the hottest character in the game? I think so. I mean, Yashtola's up there after she got, like, her Shadowbringer's costume change, but I don't know. Lena's accent's pretty good. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. And back to the Crystarium. This is what we do. This is what we do. No, not teleport. Come on now. Saw a guy whose name was Oppai Daisuke. And, I know enough Japanese now to know what that means. I wonder if you can get away with that in the Japanese client. The others were quite shocked to hear of what we found in Lakeland, but now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I've noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well as they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as sin-eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance, in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors, may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Vobert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as sin-eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Evet Selk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphino's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the Flood that followed in their wake. Well, what say you, Mangg? Spread the word, I say. Then we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Beck-Lug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the XIV. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. Alright, so instead of like announcing a press conference or something, you want me to walk around and talk to 5 different people. Okay, man. More bitch work for the Warrior of Darkness. Mangg, my, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late. Which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. Is this a woman, or... Oh, I think this is a woman. Shit. The truth about the Warriors of Light, but the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Alright, well. There is. There is. Well, surely... Yeah, go to the markets. Ethernet is fast. Ish. I don't actually know if that was faster than just running here, but... Come to browse wares in the market, have you? I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Yulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrand reaps the benefits. But you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the knight to Norvrand. Alright, consider my interest piqued. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it, though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. Warriors of Light. Yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the Cardinal Virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. Good. Because you're going to hear it either way. Hold up. Where are we going? The Amaro launch? Crystalline Mean, I think. Oh, well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenold not long ago. He says a visitor from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the latter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry? You mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Good. Good. Because you're going to hear it anyways. Yep. No, this can't be. Surely there is at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Oh, Mangg, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood, of the Warriors of Light. I have searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters, abominations worthy only of scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the Flood. How wonderful. You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Alright, so we are holding a press conference, but we couldn't just fucking announce it. We have to personally invite people. Bitch work, man. It's bitch work. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
Wicked White? The Warriors of Light did all that?
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Oh shit! You're gonna butcher all of them?
Impossible.
I take it I'm not imagining this then.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium! I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a Warrior of Light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
What? Us? Warriors of Light?
I feel like we're just kind of throwing this term around now.
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
Boy, oh boy, something's a little fishy.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Looks like him and sounds like him, but it isn't him.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emet-Selch's failure here in the First, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emet-Selch single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while the Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe, as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
It would appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
Those darn Asians. Always up to no good. Alright. Sleep disturbed. You did well to dispel the falsehood surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood. Though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from their plight. Prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphino returneth soon with that most essential knowledge. Now I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Bekalug and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that it might one day carry you home. Then I think it time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Asians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of... Fuck. That was a misclick. Fortunately, I recently received word from Fano that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Revel. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Asians, perhaps. That may lead us to the truths we seek. Would you care for company? I wouldn't dream of going without you. When you are ready, make for Fano. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. Let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the V's. Alrighty. Back to the Great Wood with that crazy song. Okay. Everything learned from the Asians has been handed to us at their leisure, but that was one of Embitselk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be forthcoming. Okay. Can't be skipping dialogue, man. Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Raktika Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined that the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement. Before any investigation could proceed, you should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. See, then it is good that you have come, for Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding, and it is our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely any threats sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those we have faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching her staff at night, wishing it were... Oh, you promised not to tell. Then I suggest we be going. Get back here. clutching her staff at night, wishing it were... Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm, and if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the Katana Revel. Let's rock and roll. Here's that song. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. Recommend you set aside sufficient time. Okay. And it's a duty. Now let's red mage it up there. I mean, do we have sufficient time? I suppose.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead. As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
She definitely heard her. Like, fuck you.
What? But I only... What is happening?
Wow.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Dead? We're all dead? Got sucked into a black hole? Oh, okay. Playing triple triad? Okay. You trespass mortal upon sacred ground. In retribution, 4 souls have I bound. Uh-oh. Rhyming. Yet to heroes proven learned and wise, a comrade's soul shall be their prize. Oh god, it's gonna be riddles. If you would see theirs set free, answer me these riddles. 3. God damn it. Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. This? Oh, fuck. Okay, so she's just dead. She's gone forever. Asking me riddles about fictional fucking creatures. God damn it. With fearsome fang, I travel with pack. Together we find harmony, and thus for peace our land does not lack. What am I? Alright, that's gotta be a coeurl, right? Oh, okay. Wolf, 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 wolf. That's not a fictional creature. They dumbed it down a little bit. I still don't know what an Oppo is. Maybe I did at one point. I don't remember. On my belly do I crawl. By my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Okay, well. Crawls on its belly. This should be easy. A serpent. D. Nice. Okay, easy. Easy, easy. All we really lost was that bitchy chick that scared the cute one. Desire you that which I yet claim, then we shall play another game. Okay. Test of mind and memory. Choose wisely, and you all may yet go free. Twixt these talismans, hide friend and foe. Choose your companions well, or sorrow no. Okay. Shit. Alright. Oh, fuck! Okay, because seemed like I got him right, but... Oh, okay. No, that's not it. Okay, so he probably... Yeah, we don't want... Alright, there we go. See? No, no, no. This is... Y'shtola. Yep, Y'shtola. And Y'shtola. Easy. Now we have to fight it, of course. And here we go. One worthy of Shir the Ronkins extol must be strong of mind, body, and soul. Here we go. How about you?
No mercy!
Shit. Let's do some of that. Okay.
I will not hold back!
Yeah, do some of that, do some of that, do some of that. Do some
Here
of
I
that.
come!
No, no, no. Fuck. Scorch, no. Fuck. I've gotta... Okay. I don't know, man. I'm hammering it on pretty good here.
Away with you!
And that! And this!
Should I be in here? Okay. She says leave the reinforcements to her, so I'm just gonna keep hammering on this thing. Or we could manification. Some more of this goodness. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. Oh god, the damage. It's just so good. Damage is just so good. There we go. It's going down. going down, baby. Hit him with some of that, Kapow!
Let us see how you handle this!
That was pretty simple.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber. A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation. So potent was her spellcraft, though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot? The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
Then you must recall Emmett Selk's dying request.
Remember us.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin. But we have disturbed Tuna long enough. Fanau will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding, and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tiuna and her exploits have been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes, details changed or lost. We can never truly know how she lived, for we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you we shall do our best to preserve your story. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we can never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought. So long as we are here, there are none among the V's who will not know of all you have done for Norvrand. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell of the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray your safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. Pay me. Yeah, we'll leave it off here. I got things to do, so. Yeah. I mean, it's possible we'll get to the dungeon next time, but truth be told, I don't think we'll finish 5.2 in the next video. But, you know, we gotta keep on pounding through. All that good stuff. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Final Fantasy XIV See you fine folks in the next part.